Why mindset matters most. Most people think starting a company is about having a great idea. It is not. Ideas are abundant, talent is abundant, ambition is abundant. What is rare and what actually delivers outcomes is how founders think when things are unclear, uncomfortable, and moving quickly. I have met founders with average ideas who have built exceptional companies, and I have met founders with genuinely brilliant ideas who never made it past their first year. The difference was not intelligence, access, or even timing, it was a mindset. More specifically, it was the mental shifts they made early or never made at all. In this lesson, I will be sharing a founder mindset framework I have seen repeat itself again and again across sectors, stages, and very clearly in this region. This is not theory or motivation. It is a way of thinking that reduces confusion and creates clarity and momentum. By the end of this session, you should feel calmer, clearer, and more decisive, even if nothing about your startup has changed. Shift 1. From tasks to systems thinking. The first mistake I see early founders make is staying in task mode. Employees think in tasks, managers think in projects, but founders think in systems. A task asks, what should I do next? A founder asks, what should exist here so the right things happen even when I'm not in the room? I have seen founders who work 12-hour days, answer every message, fix every issue, and still feel stuck, not because they're lazy, but because the company only moves when they move. If every customer issue escalates to you, that is not a support problem. It is a systems problem. If every decision needs your approval, you are not leading, you are a bottleneck. Systems thinking means asking why something keeps breaking, why it depends on you, and what would need to exist for it to run without your heroics. The shift from doing to designing is the first real step into being a founder. Shift 2. From control to clarity. Early founders often believe that control equals progress, so they control everything, every decision, every message, every detail. What that creates is not excellence, it is noise. I have seen teams where everyone is busy, meetings are full, Slack and emails never stop, but nothing truly moves forward. That's not a work ethic problem, it's a clarity problem. Strong founders don't need to control more, they need to clarify more. Clarity around what actually matters this week, what can wait, what success looks like right now, and what problem the company is truly solving. I have watched founders unlock progress just by saying, this is the only thing that matters for the next 14 days. Suddenly, decisions speed up, energy comes back, and the team stops guessing. If your company feels chaotic, it's rarely because people don't care. It's because clarity is missing. And clarity is not something you can delegate early. It is always the founder's responsibility. Shift 3. From emotions-based to principle-based decisions. Building a company is an emotional journey, and that is normal. But many founders struggle when emotions become the operating system. A good investor meeting makes everything look possible, and then a bad week makes everything feel broken. I've seen founders rewrite a strategy after one conversation, change direction after one rejection, or overbuild after one piece of praise. This is exhausting and dangerous. Strong founders replace emotional reactions with principles. Principles are pre-made decisions you trust when things become noisy. Instead of reacting to stress, you rely on something like default to truth, not optimism. Instead of freezing, you rely on ideas such as momentum beats perfection. Instead of spiraling, you rely on if it feels heavy, something is unclear. Principles do not remove emotions, but they prevent emotions from running the company. Under pressure, founders without principles struggle, and founders with principles stay steady. Shift 4. From perfection to momentum. One of the quiet killers of early-stage companies is hesitation. Founders wait for more certainty, more validation, more confidence, or more readiness. I have seen founders spend months refining something nobody asked for, while the market moved and left them behind. Momentum does not come from getting everything right. It comes from moving, learning, and iterating. The founders who win early are not reckless. They're decisive. They try small things, watch what happens, and adjust quickly. Tiny actions executed consistently with fast feedback loops are how companies get built. You've been stuck for weeks. Ask yourself, what are you avoiding because you want it to be perfect? Always make the best decision you can with the information you have. Then move on. Momentum is not loud, but it compounds quietly and relentlessly. Shift 5. From fixed identity to elastic self-concept. Employees protect identity. People can have many self-beliefs. I am not technical. I am not a salesperson. I'm a product person, not an operations person. Founders have an elastic identity. I become whatever the company needs next. I've seen founders who are uncomfortable selling learn just enough to close their first 10 customers and then hire an amazing salesperson. I've seen non-technical founders learn enough about building product to ask the right questions, not to actually build, but to lead the team. This does not mean doing everything forever. It means stretching before you specialize. The founders who grow fastest are not the most talented, they are the most adaptable. They don't ask whether something is their strength, they ask what's required right now. I want to leave you with a simple framework you can use every week. First, ask what is actually true right now in the problem you're trying to solve, with no optimism and no panic, just facts. Second, identify the real constraint, not 5 things, just one. Third, choose the smallest action that removes friction and increases momentum in removing that constraint. I've seen founders unlock months of progress by answering these questions honestly and consistently. This framework helps you avoid distraction, overbuilding, emotional decisions, and premature scaling. It's simple and it works. If there's one thing to take away from this lesson, it's this. You don't need to work harder to build a company. You need to think differently. Clarity before control. Principles before emotion. Momentum before perfection. This mindset is the foundation for everything we will be building in the sessions ahead. In the next lesson, we'll move from mindset to focus and talk about how to identify a real problem worth solving. That is where companies truly begin.